The vast emptiness of space stretched like an infinite black canvas, broken only by the flickering lights of distant stars. Princess Hana sat motionless in her containment chamber, her delicate fingers pressed against the cold metallic wall. The mercenary ship hummed with a sinister energy, its massive engines cutting through the cosmic darkness. Her royal blue uniform, once pristine and symbolic of her high status, now appeared wrinkled and torn. Hana's emerald eyes, typically filled with confidence, now reflected a mixture of fear and determination. She was the first royal heir of the Celestial Imperium to be captured in over 3 generations. The Krell mercenaries who had taken her moved with calculated precision. Their exoskeleton armor gleamed under the artificial lighting, each movement precise and mechanical. They spoke in low, guttural sounds that echoed through the ship's narrow corridors. Hana knew her capture was more than a simple kidnapping. Someone within the Imperial Court had orchestrated this mission, someone who wanted to destabilize the current political structure. Her abduction would create chaos, potentially triggering internal conflicts that could weaken the Celestial Imperium's grip on multiple star systems. She remembered the moment of her capture. It happened so quickly. A sudden breach in her personal shuttle security systems, electromagnetic pulses disabling her protection shields, and then the swift, brutal invasion. Her royal guards had fought bravely, but they were overwhelmed within minutes. The mercenary leader, a towering figure named Korik, occasionally walked past her containment chamber. His multiple eyes scanned her continuously, calculating her potential market value. Hana was more than just a princess. She was a potential diplomatic weapon, a bargaining chip in the complex galactic trade of power and influence. Her communicator, hidden beneath her uniform's inner lining, remained her only hope. Though damaged, it could potentially transmit a distress signal, but the risks were significant. Any transmission could alert the mercenaries and potentially lead to her immediate elimination. The ship's internal temperature fluctuated, a strategic move designed to keep prisoners disoriented and weak. Cold periods followed by intense heat created a psychological pressure meant to break her spirit. But Hana had been trained since childhood to endure such challenges. Outside the containment chamber, technological displays flickered with data streams, navigation charts, and communication logs. The ship's artificial intelligence continuously calculated potential trade routes, avoiding Imperial patrol zones and monitoring potential interceptions. Hana's mind raced through potential escape scenarios. She analyzed the chamber's structural weaknesses, the guards' patrol patterns, and the ship's overall mechanical design. Her royal education had prepared her for crisis management. But this was beyond any training scenario she had encountered. The mercenaries discussed her in a language designed to be incomprehensible to most species. Complex linguistic algorithms and encrypted communication made their conversations sound like random noise to untrained ears. But Hana had studied multiple communication systems and could partially understand their discussions. She heard fragments about an auction, about potential buyers from various star systems interested in acquiring a royal hostage. The Galactic underworld operated on principles of power, manipulation, and economic exchange, treating living beings as commodities. Hours passed, feeling like endless moments of tension and uncertainty. The ship continued its journey through the silent, indifferent universe, carrying its precious and dangerous cargo. Princess Hana remained alert, her mind a constant whirlwind of strategies and potential escape routes. Little did she know that thousands of light years away, on a small blue planet called Earth, an unexpected hero was about to enter her story. A simple human, with nothing more than survival skills and extraordinary determination, would soon challenge everything the galactic powers believed about primitive species. The mercenary ship continued its journey, unaware that its carefully planned mission was about to be dramatically altered by a series of events no one could have predicted. The Alaskan wilderness stretched before Jay Park like an endless white canvas, silent and unforgiving. Snow crunched beneath his heavy boots as he tracked elk movements, his breath creating small clouds in the freezing morning air. His military-issued backpack, weathered from countless expeditions, carried essential survival gear. Jay was not just a typical wilderness instructor. His past as a Special Forces veteran had equipped him with skills that went beyond ordinary survival techniques. Every step he took was calculated, every movement purposeful. Years of training had transformed him into a human machine designed to adapt and overcome. The forest around him seemed alive, though completely still. Pine trees stood like frozen sentinels, their branches heavy with fresh snow. Jay's keen eyes scanned the landscape, constantly alert for any movement, any slight disturbance in the natural environment. Suddenly, a strange electronic pulse disrupted the silence. His old military communication device, which he kept more out of habit than necessity, began to emit an unusual frequency. Most would have ignored it, but Jay's years of training told him something was different. The device typically used for standard GPS and weather tracking now displayed strange geometric patterns and unrecognizable symbols. Lines of code scrolled rapidly, faster than any normal terrestrial communication system. Jay recognized encryption patterns, but these were unlike anything he had ever seen. A holographic projection suddenly flickered to life, barely visible in the harsh sunlight. It showed a three-dimensional map of what appeared to be a spacecraft, with a blinking indicator highlighting a specific containment zone. The image was so advanced that it seemed completely out of place in the middle of the Alaskan wilderness. Jay's military instincts kicked in. He recognized this wasn't a standard communication or a technical glitch. Something extraordinary was happening, something that connected him to events far beyond Earth's atmosphere. The holographic projection continued to display coordinates, ship schematics, and what seemed like a distress signal. Though the language was alien, the universal signs of danger were clear. Someone or something was in serious trouble. His training had taught him to analyze situations quickly. Within moments, Jay understood that this was no ordinary communication. The technological sophistication suggested an origin far beyond human capabilities. Yet, the distress signal felt urgent, almost desperate. He pulled out a small thermal survival kit, checking his supplies. Emergency medical equipment, high-energy protein bars, specialized communication devices, and survival tools were neatly organized. Jay was always prepared, a habit developed through years of military and wilderness training. The holographic projection began to deteriorate, its signals becoming weaker. But Jay had already memorized key details: ship location, potential, trajectory, and critical containment zone specifications. His mind was already calculating potential rescue scenarios, breaking down the complex information into actionable steps. Most people would have dismissed the strange communication as a technical malfunction or a hallucination. But Jay Park was different. His experiences had taught him that the universe was far more complex than most humans understood. The snow continued to fall around him, creating a peaceful contrast to the intense technological drama unfolding through his device. Deer moved silently in the distant forest, unaware of the cosmic events about to unfold. Jay knew that whatever was happening would require him to use every skill he had learned, from military tactics to wilderness survival, from technological adaptation to pure human intuition. The challenge ahead was unlike anything he had ever encountered. As the holographic projection finally disappeared, leaving only a faint electronic hum, Jay Park made a decision. He would investigate. Not out of heroism, but out of a deep-rooted sense of duty and an unquenchable curiosity about the unknown. The Alaskan wilderness watched silently as Jay began preparing for a journey that would take him far beyond the boundaries of human understanding, into a cosmic adventure that would challenge everything humanity knew about its place in the universe. Little did he know that thousands of light years away, a princess waited, her fate now inexplicably linked to this lone human in the middle of a snow-covered forest. The mercenary space station hung in darkness, a massive metallic structure designed to be impenetrable. Its outer hull gleamed with advanced defensive systems, multiple layers of energy shields, and automated weapon turrets that could track and destroy any incoming threat within milliseconds. Jay Park moved like a shadow, his survival gear modified into makeshift infiltration equipment. His military background and wilderness training had prepared him for impossible scenarios, But this was beyond anything he had ever imagined. Each movement was calculated, precise, and deliberate, using a compact electromagnetic disruptor, a device he had jury-rigged from communication equipment in his survival pack. Jay systematically disabled security nodes. The device, which looked like a simple handheld tool, sent cascading interference signals that created momentary blind spots. In the station's security matrix, Princess Hana watched in complete disbelief from her containment chamber. A human, from a supposedly primitive planet, was navigating her high-tech prison with a level of skill that defied all galactic understanding. His movements were unlike any rescue attempt she had ever witnessed. Jay's climbing gear, typically used for mountain expeditions, now served as infiltration equipment. Lightweight carbon fiber hooks designed for scaling Alaskan rock faces now helped him navigate the station's complex structural networks. He moved through ventilation shafts and maintenance corridors with serpentine flexibility. The mercenary, guards augmented with advanced cybernetic enhancements, began to detect something was wrong. Alarm systems flickered, communication channels became intermittent, and security protocols started to malfunction. But by the time they realized an intruder was present, Jay was already deep within the station's core. His survival knife, a tool he always carried, now became a multifunctional device. Using its advanced composite materials, he cut through electronic security panels, created makeshift communication jammers, and disabled critical system nodes. Each action was performed with surgical precision. Hana noticed something extraordinary about this human. He wasn't just fighting. He was systematically dismantling the station's defenses using nothing more than improvised equipment and pure human ingenuity. No advanced alien technology, no sophisticated weaponry, just raw human adaptability. The station's artificial intelligence began to recognize the intrusion as something completely unprecedented. Traditional threat assessment protocols failed. This human didn't match any known infiltration patterns in the Galactic database. Jay located the containment chamber where Princess Hana was held. The door's complex locking mechanism would have stumped most advanced technological species. But for Jay, it was just another problem to solve. Using a combination of electronic bypass tools and pure mechanical manipulation, he created a custom solution. Mercenary guards rushed toward the disturbance, their cybernetic weapons charging, but Jay was already 3 steps ahead. Using smoke grenades from his survival pack and creating strategic audio distractions, he misdirected their attack vectors. When the containment chamber door finally opened, Hana saw her rescuer for the first time. A human, covered in tactical gear, with eyes that reflected both calm determination and incredible focus. No royal rescue team, no advanced alien technology, just one human who refused to accept impossible odds. "We need to move quickly," Jay said simply, offering her a hand. His voice was steady, his movements calculated. He had transformed from a wilderness survival instructor to a tactical rescue operative in moments. The station's alarms blared continuously. Mercenary forces mobilized, preparing to crush the unexpected intruder. But Jay had already planned their escape route, understanding the station's structural weaknesses better than its own designers. As they moved through the complex, Hana realized something profound. This wasn't just a rescue. This was a demonstration of human potential that would challenge everything her civilization believed about primitive species. The universe watched silently as an impossible rescue unfolded, with one human proving that adaptability, determination, and quick thinking could overcome the most advanced technological barriers. The Celestial Imperium's central command chamber buzzed with tension. Massive holographic displays flickered with real-time data, showing the impossible scenario that had just unfolded. Emperor Quan stood motionless, his multiple sensory organs processing the incredible report. A primitive human from Earth had successfully rescued Princess Hana from the most secure mercenary installation in the known galaxy. The concept seemed beyond comprehension. Centuries of galactic records showed no precedent for such an event. Communication channels across multiple star systems began to transmit the extraordinary story. Initial reports were met with disbelief, then shock, and finally a growing sense of confusion. How could a species classified as pre-interstellar accomplish something that would challenge the most advanced military systems? The recorded footage of Jay's infiltration played repeatedly. Military strategists watched in stunned silence. His method wasn't about superior technology, but pure human adaptability. He had used simple tools, unconventional thinking, and an extraordinary understanding of complex systems. Princess Hana's initial report shocked the Imperial Council. She described Jay not as a lucky survivor, but as a calculated rescue operative who had systematically dismantled an entire mercenary installation. Her detailed account challenged everything the Celestial Imperium understood about human capabilities. Emperor Quan's advisors presented conflicting recommendations. Some suggested a military response, viewing the human as a potential threat. Others saw an unprecedented opportunity for understanding a species that defied traditional technological assessment. The communication logs revealed something even more shocking. Jay had not only rescued the princess, but had done so with minimal casualties. His approach showed a level of tactical and ethical consideration that surpassed many advanced civilizations' military protocols. Quantum communication networks began, analyzing every available piece of data about Earth and its inhabitants. Research teams worked frantically to understand how a species from a single planetary system could demonstrate such extraordinary capabilities. Intelligence reports started painting a different picture of humanity. They weren't just a primitive species, but a complex civilization with remarkable adaptive potential. Survival instincts, technological creativity, and an unprecedented problem-solving approach marked their unique characteristics. The mercenary clan's complete defeat became a topic of intense galactic discussion. Their advanced technological systems, designed to be impenetrable, had been systematically dismantled by a single human using improvised equipment. Emperor Quan requested a complete psychological and tactical profile of Jay Park. Military analysts worked to understand his background, a wilderness survival instructor with special forces training. Each detail revealed a species far more complex than previous assessments suggested. Diplomatic channels began preparing for an unprecedented scenario. How does an established galactic civilization approach a species that has just demonstrated capabilities beyond standard technological understanding? The quantum communication networks struggled to process the implications. Humanity was no longer just another pre-interstellar civilization. They were a potential variable that could dramatically change existing galactic power structures. Princess Hana's testimony became crucial. She described Jay not as a lucky rescuer, but as a calculated operator who understood systems at a fundamental level. His approach wasn't about overwhelming force, but intelligent adaptation. Research teams discovered something remarkable about human history. Their civilization had consistently demonstrated an ability to overcome seemingly impossible challenges. From technological innovations to survival in extreme environments, humans showed a pattern of extraordinary resilience. The Celestial Imperium's classification systems needed immediate revision. Humanity could no longer be considered a primitive species. They were an emerging civilization with potential that defied conventional understanding. Emperor Quan made a historic decision. Instead of military intervention or diplomatic dismissal, they would observe. Humanity represented an unknown quantity, a potential ally or an unpredictable variable in galactic politics. As communication systems continued to analyze the rescue, one thing became clear. The universe had just witnessed something extraordinary. A single human had challenged established galactic understanding, and nothing would remain the same. The revelation had begun, and humanity's true potential was about to be discovered. The United Nations headquarters in New York became an unexpected center of cosmic attention. Diplomatic corridors buzzed with an energy never experienced before. Jay Park stood quietly, wearing a simple military-style jacket, surrounded by world leaders and unprecedented alien diplomatic representatives. Princess Hana walked beside him, her advanced technological translator rendering her words into perfect English. Her presence alone challenged everything humanity understood about extraterrestrial contact. She wasn't here as a conqueror, but as a diplomatic bridge between two civilizations. Earth's first official contact wasn't through massive military displays or technological demonstrations. It happened through one individual's extraordinary rescue mission, a moment that would be remembered in galactic historical records. Jay represented humanity's unexpected potential, adaptability, courage, and unconventional problem-solving. The Celestial Imperium's initial diplomatic team arrived in a sleek spacecraft that hovered silently above New York's skyline. Their technology was so advanced that it seemed more like a living entity than a mechanical vehicle. Yet they approached with unprecedented respect, a direct result of Jay's remarkable rescue. World leaders listened intently as Princess Hana explained the galactic implications of their encounter. Her description of Jay's rescue wasn't just a personal story, but a comprehensive analysis of human capabilities. She highlighted how a single individual could challenge entire established systems through intelligent adaptation. Jay remained humble, speaking about his wilderness survival experience and military training. He didn't glorify his actions but presented them as a natural response to a critical situation. His matter-of-fact explanation only increased the diplomatic team's fascination with human psychology. The diplomatic discussions revealed something extraordinary. The Celestial Imperium wasn't looking to conquer or dominate Earth. They were genuinely interested in understanding a species that could produce individuals capable of such remarkable feats. Scientific teams from both civilizations began collaborative research. They were eager to understand the human capacity for improvisation, survival, and strategic thinking. Jay's rescue became a case study in interspecies adaptive capabilities. Economic negotiations began quickly. The Celestial Imperium recognized that humanity represented a potential resource unlike any other in the known galaxy. Their ability to solve complex problems with limited resources made them invaluable potential partners. Global media struggled to comprehend the unfolding scenario. A wilderness survival instructor had essentially become Earth's first unofficial interstellar ambassador. News networks ran continuous coverage, analyzing every detail of Jay's background and the rescue mission. The United Nations established a new department specifically designed to manage human-celestial diplomatic relations. Jay was invited to be a key consultant, his practical experience proving more valuable than traditional diplomatic training. Military strategists worldwide began re-evaluating human potential. If one individual could infiltrate an advanced alien mercenary station, what could coordinated human efforts achieve? The rescue had transformed humanity's self-perception overnight. Princess Hana became an unexpected advocate for human potential. Her first-hand experience challenged centuries of galactic prejudice about primitive species. She spoke passionately about human adaptability, describing Jay's rescue as a pivotal moment in interspecies understanding. The Celestial Imperium's initial classification of humanity changed dramatically. No longer were humans seen as a pre-interstellar civilization to be monitored. They were now recognized as a potentially critical galactic partner with extraordinary evolutionary advantages. Technological exchange programs began rapidly. The Celestial Imperium was particularly interested in understanding human problem-solving methodologies. They recognized that technological superiority wasn't just about advanced equipment, but about adaptive thinking. Jay Park became an unexpected symbol of human potential. His journey from an Alaskan wilderness instructor to an interstellar diplomatic catalyst represented humanity's greatest strength, the ability to transform unexpected challenges into extraordinary opportunities. The diplomatic transformation wasn't just about political agreements. It represented a fundamental shift in how two completely different civilizations understood each other. One rescue mission had opened doors that would reshape galactic interactions for generations. As the first diplomatic meetings concluded, one thing became clear. Humanity's true journey among the stars was just beginning. And it all started with one unexpected rescue, performed by an ordinary human who refused to accept impossible odds. The universe watched and waited, understanding that everything had changed.